who have heard about the Roman room technique, also known as the method of loci? When to use when memorizing long passages, sentences, so on and so forth. So we'll start off with the simple stuff. Club meeting, date, 3rd February 2023, time 9 a.m, Starbucks Orchard, chairperson Michelle. Agenda, family day outing at Universal Studios, event sponsored by Red Bull. Now, how many points do I have here? Including the title, that's the first step. I need to count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I've got 8 in total. The next step is I need to pick a room. This is an example of a room. By the way, it is called a Roman room because this was one of the first techniques that they created, the Romans, 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. We cannot really know when, right? But back then, their source of entertainment was what? Besides music, coming from plays, poetry, storytelling. So those guys, they had to recite an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours worth of story or poetry. And that's where they came up with techniques like that. A Roman room can be anything that is indoor. This can be an example of a Roman room as well. The purpose here is to store each item we want in this room. And the thing is, we do not have to be in this room to either memorize or recall. Okay? All of those memory records that you read about, all those pi, memorizing 10,000 binary digits, about 99% of them uses the Roman room technique. Okay? It will take some practice to really master it, but once you get it down, that is where memorizing of essay-based questions shouldn't be an issue. Again, try not to memorize word for word. You don't want to do that as well, right? Even if you got World Memory Championship caliber memory, you don't do that. It's just not effective, but you memorize in point form. So we need 8 locations here. The first location would be, do you guys see this small drawer here? That's location number 1. Location number 2 would be your lamp. Number 3 would be your bed. Number 4 would be this small bench here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 will be the couch. All right. 6 will be the curtains. 7 would be this table. And 8 would be at the top of the drawer here. Right now, if you guys can just close your eyes and recall the location. Do you guys see the drawer? Yes or no? Do you see the lamp? Good. Do you see the bed? What's after the bed? You got a small bench. Next. Couch. Good. What's after the couch? Curtains. Good. Next. The table. What's the last one? Top of the drawer. All right. Now, that Roman room is stored in our head, right? So all we need to do is just form the link or store it. First step is club meeting. So just imagine at the drawer, you've got a bunch of people. Most of you guys are in clubs, right? So just imagine a couple of your friends from the same club standing by that drawer. That's your mental folder. That's going to be your hook as well. Now, next one would be your lamp. Date, 3rd February 2023. Now, you guys are so-called, like I say, learning to be memory experts. You know the tools. How would you encode this? Date, 3rd February 2023 to the lamp. Let's start with 3. How would you turn 3 into an image? Good, McDonald's, right? Again, do not ever rely on the actual text itself and just put the number 3 there. If that works, I will just visualize a foolscap paper with my answers written down on it, right? You need to turn it into a 3D, 3-dimensional image. So visualize maybe Ronald McDonald's sitting on that lamp. What can be represented by February? Feb. Anything? Sorry? Bushfire, good. Right? Where are you from? Australia? Okay. Makes sense. So you imagine maybe Ronald McDonald's and he's trying to put out the bushfire just behind him. Alright? Now, 2023, let's not memorize this. Take shortcuts sometimes in life. When's it going to be? 2024? Right? So let's just say 2023. Next, what's the next location? The bed. Alright, time, 9 a.m. What can represent 9? Or if you want to really memorize time, you can just put a huge clock on the bed. What can represent 9? Elephant, a baby elephant standing on the clock. Right? AM, what can represent AM? Just put maybe a blanket on the elephant to represent AM. Next location, the bench, right? Good, there you go, you got your Starbucks, right? Starbucks on the bench. Next location, couch, good, right? So how do we come up with an image for Michelle? Can anyone guess? There you go, Michelle Obama sitting on the couch, right? Put a chair on the couch, Michelle Obama sitting on it. Next would be, after your couch would be your curtains. Family day outing at Universal Studios. What do? Family day. When I think of family, I think my family is around, the curtains. When I think of Universal Studios, what do I see? The big globe, right? I see the big globe on the curtain. Make it three-dimensional, like in your face, right? Again, do not visualize a two-dimensional print of Universal Studios. That does not work, right? You need to make it three-dimensional, so three-dimensional in your face. The last item would be your event sponsored by Red Bull, and your location would be on your desk, filled with Red Bull cans maybe, all right? Okay, Roman room technique, do not reuse the Roman room. That is one of the things about the Roman room, try not to reuse, because can you imagine if I store another piece of information, what's going to happen? Keep a note on building your rooms.